So here we have number 6, and the instructions are to find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line with the given properties and to use function notation. So the given properties are that the line itself passes through the coordinate 3, 0 and 4, -2. So our end goal is to have something in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So let's go ahead and remember that that should be what our answer looks like. Now, the given properties that we have are two coordinates. So whenever we have two coordinates, we still need slope to plug it into either point slope form or slope-intercept form. So the good thing is that since we have two coordinates, we can just go ahead and find our slope. So the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so let's have this be our x1 and y1, and this be our x2 and y2. And if you struggle a little bit with plugging in your values for variables, I would just recommend branching off to the side here and just writing them out. So my x1 is 3, my y1 is 0, my x2 is 4, and my y2 is -2. So now I'm just going to plug in my values. So my slope is going to equal -2 minus 0 over 4 minus 3. And when I simplify that, that makes -2 over 1. You can leave it as -2 over 1, or you can simplify that further to just -2, but it doesn't matter. I personally prefer leaving slope as a fraction always because it's easier to see that it is rise over run. Okay, so now that we have our slope and we have coordinates, we can plug that into a formula. So we can either use point slope form, or we can go straight into slope-intercept form. So the question wants us to put the properties into slope-intercept form, but we won't be able to. And that is because we don't have the y-intercept actually. We have the x-intercept here because the y is 0, and then we have just a regular coordinate here. But in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, the b, which is the y-intercept, is not what we have here. So we can't use that just yet. But luckily, when we use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, when we plug in our values correctly into point slope form and we solve for 1y, it actually turns into slope-intercept form. So let's go ahead and do that. So we already have our slope right here, -2 over 1. Now we need to figure out what our y1 and our x1 is. Well, that's going to come from one of these coordinates, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose the first one, just because it looks easier to work with because they're both positive values. So I'm going to label here that I'm using 3, 0, and this is going to be my x1 and this is going to be my y1. So when I plug in my values into my form, I'm going to get y minus 0 equals -2 over 1 times x minus 3. And when I simplify that, I get y equals -2 over 1 x minus 3. And then when I distribute my -2 over 1 into my x minus 3, I get y equals -2 over 1x plus 6. Okay, so you can leave it as this, or you can just take out the over 1 because you don't need to write the over 1. It's already assumed there is an over 1. And your answer would be y equals negative 2x plus 6. Now, it's always important to go back and take a second look at the question just to make sure that the answer you have is answering the question that it's asking you. So we found the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line with the given properties. Now we just need to use function notation. Function notation just means to replace y with f of x. So instead of writing y, I'm going to write f of x equals negative 2x plus 6. It's something really small, which is why it's very important to just go back and take a second look at the question. Right, and that is our final answer.